Yo, what's good YouTube? What it do, man? It's your boy Cowboy Trout back at it with another good video today. So, what we have realized to this point, and what I need to do really, if y'all haven't, I know, hey, first and foremost, I appreciate y'all for real, for sitting there, go ahead and like giving me as much views as I got. Like literally, like my last two videos, my most viewed videos, from a standpoint of like the whole NBA 2K25 aspect, right? And so I feel as though like that is big shout out to y'all, big thanks to y'all, and I really appreciate that. Like, you know what I'm saying, let me know that I can still do this YouTube stuff, because I haven't posted a video on this channel before then in 6 months. 6 months is crazy. 6 months was what, February? So for that being that long, I really appreciate y'all. Go ahead and like and all that, you know what I'm saying, and sitting there interacting with me on that side of it. And I'm gonna definitely be updating y'all with the news. If most of the time, whenever as soon as news drop, I post about it on TikTok. Majority of the time, I'm gonna really start utilizing YouTube Shorts more too, because y'all show me love over there on that side too, and I really appreciate all that, right? So let's get straight to the video. The last thing I covered on a video aspect was the whole rebounding, time and rebounding stuff. Whenever and I was a little misinformed when I very first read it, but then I like went back, read it again after I released the video, and I was like, this ain't that big of a deal. You always had a time rebounds. It's just letting you know feedback. Same way you always had a time jump shots. You can just turn your feedback on and off, right? And I hope they allow us to turn our feedback off, because don't nobody want to sit there having to, you know, go through having to see somebody green a rebound every single time, right? But let's go ahead and get straight to our video today. And so I've already covered beforehand, but on NBA 2K26, you're going to be able, if you pre-order the Superstar Edition or the Leave No Doubt Edition, you'll be able to get it as early as 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, August 29, 2025. So if you sit there, if you're on the East Coast, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know where you at, if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 12 o'clock noon, anytime Central, Chicago, Houston, anything like that. That'll be 11 a.m. Central Time. And then anybody who's staying in Mountain Time, I don't know if that's like El Paso, the Rockies, anything like that, you will get it at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, right? So that is a big thing to start off with. Of course, I already stated that in other videos and stuff like that. But hey, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with restating the stuff to make sure it's all understood and known, right? And so what I did do, though, is go do my research whenever it came to Mike Wang. And Swante had a great question. He asked if you could bring back like the 2K16, 2K15 Momentum Cross. And Mike Wang said he's bringing it back. So that's very good news, right? And as he's bringing it back, there's 3 different tiers to what it's actually going to be. So Iggy Mo asked, was there any type of dribble style or anything, or is it like restricted to, you know, behind a Superstar 4 or anything like that? He said out the gate, any dribble style, but you'll need a 85 ball control, ball handle, whatever you want to call it, for tier 3 Momentum Cross, in between the 60 and the 84 for tier 2. It's a little bit slower than tier 3, of course, and then anything under 60 gets you a garbage one, right? So depending on how much slower the tier 2 is, people might just push for a 60 ball handle on a, I don't even know what is the max height they can get a 60 ball handle, but imagine like a 7'3" able to get a 60 ball handle, and now you got a 6'3" coming out that's able to sit there and get a Momentum Cross at a tier 2. So it's really good, and it's, you know, cap breakers and stuff like that, really gonna sit there and matter, actually, you know, and it's really gonna bring back a different thing from the community, right? And then also somebody asked him, give us the misdirection behind the back in the game. Mike Wang said in NBA 2K26 you can do misdirection behind the backs, crosses, tweens, hezzy by starting a standard behind the back cross, tween, or hezzy respectively, and then immediately holding turbo and throwing the right stick in the opposite direction before the first bounce. So there's gonna be so many people releasing advanced dribble tutorials and stuff like that, and I'm really gonna be in the lab whenever it comes to 2KU and all that stuff this year, right? Because I feel as though like, and oh, hey, mind you, as y'all see in this gameplay I'm showing y'all right now from 2K19, I am by no means this great player at the game. I'm a casual player, I like to have fun. I play with the bros, you know what I'm saying, on the game. That shit, people I know in real life. So I don't take the game serious. I don't like to lose, but I just don't take the game as serious as some people who be having, you know, 85 or 90, 95 win percentage. I don't ever try to lose, but there be games we sit there and talk about everything in the world, and I really don't care about record. So He also, I don't know if I showed it in the TikTok, but there's a gif of Kyrie Irving doing a double behind the back, breaking somebody on the Raptors. Somebody asks, "Can you do that?" And Mike Wang said you'd be able to do this by chaining two driving behind the backs together. I wonder how hard it would be to chain two driving, specifically driving behind the backs together. Let's go inside the gameplay Q&As because that is something I did not go into the last video, right? Let's go into it right now. All right, so they asked, so there's a new pass control, right? And so what it is, it says, the question was, are there any other new passing controls? Because if y'all don't know, it's previously stated that now to throw a flashy pass, it's like X and square or something like that. Now I'll find the tweet itself and make sure I show it. But because they switched they switched lob to like X and square, and then switched the flashy pass to whatever the self lob was. So I think X and circle is now flashy pass. I think X and square, if I'm not mistaken, is not your self lob. Makes it a little bit different, makes it a little bit harder. Maybe triangle square. I don't know. Like I said, I'll post a tweet 100% just to make sure it's on there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not being misquoted or anything like that. But it says another pass feature that was added for NBA 2K26 is contextual auto lob passes. With this new auto lob to moving passes, controller set and enabled, pressing the normal pass button, either X or A, or icon pass will throw lob passes to moving receivers in the situations where a normal chest pass will be prone to getting intercepted. Advanced playmakers who want to only throw lobs by pressing triangle will want to set this option to disable in the controller settings. So I'm glad he gave us something new. I'm also glad he gave us something to combat it. If people don't like it, give us a reason like to get up out of it, right? And I feel like that's definitely like rewarding. You know what I'm saying? People. But I feel as though you run into an issue, like this person tweeted under that and said rewarding casual players for doing the wrong pass is what I read. But I also feel as though if a person cutting them off, there's no like rewarding the person. Like that makes it so where people can't just jump lanes, right? And again, they could just switch it to where certain modes you have to throw lobs. They can do that, but it doesn't seem like they're doing it right now. Not a big issue in my opinion, but we'll see how like overpowered it is. It was asked, does the motion styles have effect on gameplay? Mike Wang said, yes, motion styles are driven by pro play, just like dribble styles, so some styles will naturally be quicker and more explosive than others. For NBA 2K26, we've added ratings gates, so you'll need higher attributes to equip the more effective styles. So ratings gates, right, is what I was talking about. Even adding a ratings gate, I don't feel as though you should move faster or slower depending on whatever you pick, but I do feel as though them doing something like a rating gate, because he didn't specifically said height. So of course, if 6'8", right, because this is nothing to do with height, but say a 6'8" can only get the 84 speed with ball, right, from last year. We're just gonna say that he can only get an 84 speed with ball, right, and that's where his stuff is capped at. So cool, you can get that 84 and that'd be the 84. So now you get SGA moving style at 6'8". And so say like the Darius Garland stuff is set at like 86 speed with ball, right? So say you have a 6'8", they can get a 86 speed with ball. A rating gate would mean that you're able to get that same motion style even on these 6'8s. But that's just a rating gate. I might be looking to in detail of what specifically he said, but I'm just letting y'all know what I interpreted from it. You know what I'm saying? That's their improvement for standing dunks. He said they reworked the logic to make it so where they can be more reliable for bigs who aren't too crowded on the rim. We've also retuned. We also retuned standing skill dunks to have generally larger ring windows to compensate for how fast the most moving dunks are. So I feel as though that's good because we definitely know that the standing dunks are way quicker than a regular like driving dunk, right? They ask, are there any changes to burst and changes in change? They ask, are there any changes to burst and changes in direction for ball handlers? Mike Wang said, we spent some time tuning the dribbler's ability to start, stop, and cut. Speed and tightness of changing directions will vary based on ratings and dribble styles, right? So it seems as though, hopefully, moving in and out of any type of speed boost or anything like that will be a lot more quicker and more smooth based on the changes that they've done. So from everything that they're putting in the game, honestly, it seems as though it's going in the right direction from a speaking standpoint, right? At the end of the day, they have to make it work, right? The gameplay itself has to be smooth and it has to be well received by the community. If it's not well received by the community or anything like that, it doesn't matter what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be garbage. So another question was asked, whenever the no dip catch and shoot, right? It said, will it work in team control modes? It says yes, in team control modes. As soon as you initiate the pass, you can do a quick catch and shoot by timing, holding L2 as you're receiving the catch. So it seems like that, you know, that's cool for people who run my team and stuff like that as well. And yeah, it'll make it so it's more usable in those other game modes, not just centered around, you know, the my player, the park modes. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's not fair either. Actually, are there any chances to pluck steals and lane steals? So on-ball steal targeting and steal animations have been improved to reward defenders who position themselves well and anticipate the dribbler's moves. The canned animation pluck steals have been almost entirely disabled. Pass interceptions have been tuned a bit, but are similar to effectiveness 2K25. You can play lanes fine then, you know what I'm saying, in 2K25. And I also feel as though them taking out certain animations, like, so it means as though that it's going to be more bump steal based, right? If it's being more bump steal based, that's cool because you make it so where now you have a situation where you have to get that bump, right? So you can't just sit there and just like run up on somebody and just, in a sense, you can't 2K rip people no more. You know what I'm saying? You see videos online like, oh, he got 2K plus. You can't do that no more, right? And so that, in my opinion, is a W. So I feel as though that could be good in a way, right? And of course, again, all of this is just speculation from what they're saying, right? And that's it. They asked him again whether it be a boost for turning your shot meter off, and Mike Wang said turning your shot meter off will slightly increase the size of your green window. That's been the case in previous 2Ks, and it's going to stay the case in this one. Right? It's all cool. I like it. You know what I'm saying? It definitely rewards people for not having your meter on, I guess, like learning your jump shot. You've been playing the game for how long? Learn it. And also, what I realized in 2K25 is they took out pulling the chair, right? And I never knew if they took out pulling chair because I don't run a lot of ones and stuff like that. And I don't run into a lot of post scores. But for the people who do run a lot of ones, for people who do run into a lot of post scores who are on stage and stuff like that, I feel as though the pulling the chair should have always been the game. And of course, they said yes, you can pull the chair in the post by tapping circle or B on Xbox when the offensive player makes contact with you. I definitely feel as though we should have had that in the game, but again, it is what it is. Like, we're not worried necessarily about that getting taken out. I'm just glad it's back, right? They said that they have improved the baseline sensitivity whenever you're attempting baseline layups, because there'll be times you cook somebody, you do a baseline layup and make you stick your big toe out in them big Jordan 5s, and now you stepped out of bounds when they shouldn't do that, right? Because it's a reverse layup, and my player should know where he's at on the court, awareness-wise, especially if you're moving a stick and it pushes you out of bounds. And so, a question I was asked about the no dip compared to the regular catch and shoot shots is that the green window is the same for both, which is good because he said it possibly could change in the future. But I feel like that's good. Like, you shouldn't, you know what I mean? You don't want all them different times. I feel like that's where you run into the point of the game being hard and stuff like that. Not hard, but like hard at the time. You shouldn't have 50 animations you have to figure out and learn, right? And of course, the big question of the day. If you don't green a rebound, can you still get it? What happens when two people both green a rebound? It says you can still grab a rebound if you don't green the timing. And if a little player is trying to out-rebound a big, excellent timing will often not be enough to secure the board. If the big makes zero effort and just stands there, look, I'll have a better chance of grabbing it with perfect timing though. If two players green a rebound timing, the outcome is decided by positioning, ratings, and height. The core mechanics around how rebounding works isn't changing in NBA 2K26. Timing your jump has always been an important aspect of rebounding. The indicator has added just to help players understand how rebounding works. And I feel as though there's been so many times where people are like, oh, the big, you know what I'm saying? You're telling the big as a guard or you're telling the big as a lock. Telling them, hey man, like you're jumping too early. Or hey man, you jumping too late. You know what I'm saying? Different animations off of shots bouncing off the backboard, the rim, anything like that. You learn as such, right? And so I definitely feel as though having that allows them to realize, you know, okay, I'm not timing this, or I'm, you know what I'm saying, something, right? And from there, they can deal with that themselves. So there are changes to dunking. I don't know if y'all realize, in all the really 2Ks, whenever you know had the time to meter dunks and stuff like that, you had to go up, down, down, up, regardless, right? But you figure it out, and then that's how you that's how you meter dunk. Well, in NBA 2K26, they said there's a change to it by holding turbo and the pro stick down. So straight down, you know how you go up, down, up, whatever you do, and just holding it straight down is how you meter dunk in NBA 2K26. I'm assuming like you're letting it go is the end of the timing part, right? But it says this will encourage more flashy dunks, but you also get flashy dunks with the shot button if you're wide open with no trailing threats. The meter dunk logic has changed a lot, and you'll notice a much bigger green window on open dunks, both driving and standing. And like I said about the standing dunks earlier, I feel as though that is like, that's a crazy layup I just made in that clip. But I definitely feel as though like you making standing dunks has been terribly hard in past 2Ks, just because the timing of a standing dunk has been crazy fast in past 2Ks, right? So you have like your Laker fans, stuff like that, who run point on like more like a center type of build, more interior type of build. But I know standing dunks themselves specifically are hard to do, and standing dunks themselves give you a dunk more times than not, like a guaranteed dunk. So I feel as though I understand why people would want the standing dunk timing just to be a little bit easier. There's no reason why it's crazy fast, right? But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. I want y'all to like and share the video if y'all can, man. Just do me a quick favor. I really just like it, man. Like and comment, man. I interact with y'all in every comment. I got some TikToks I gotta release. I got some stuff like some YouTube shorts I gotta release. So I appreciate y'all coming through, taking out time to react, watch whatever of this long video. And like I said, man, I really appreciate y'all for what y'all did for my last video, and giving me like the clarification, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as easy just to know, like, okay, cool, like I'm posting this, but it really don't matter on what it get. I'm just gonna post it. So me seeing, you know, the views and stuff like that makes it real. It puts a smile on my face. It makes me happy with the actual content creation itself. It lets me know, hey, I got this. Keep grinding harder. You got this, right? So anyway, man, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe if you're new. And please go follow my TikTok, because everything new that come out, I release on there, right? But yeah, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe if you're new. Okay, what's wrong? I'm out, bro.